Happy Wednesday, middle of the week. We're out at the canyon today, as you can see. Give you a look real quick. Beautiful day in the neighborhood, Mr. Rogers. And we're just sitting out here having a snack, a cherry snack. Some of my favorite cherries, Rainiers. You can't always find them. And then we're going to read a few passages from one of the astrology transit books, and then I am going to open up to June 9th on my little meditations book. But we're going to call in we're going to see if the monarchs come, the monarch butterflies. When you meditate, you can actually, when you get down in your body, like I've taught you guys in other videos of my channel, especially in human beings, not human doings. If you check out that episode, I show you exactly how to do this. For the first 6-7 minutes, you can just watch me how I do it. And and you can copy it and do the same thing. And one good way to know that you're in your body and really, really present is you could get insects and birds and things flying up to you all the time in that moment. Sometimes it's scary. They might fly at your head or land on you even. You have to resist the urge to actually be scared of them. I used to be frightened of bugs and birds and everything, and it still startles me, but So let's try it this way. Oh yeah, that's really good. The sun feels really nice. So that's one way that you can start, is just by taking a pause. Oh yeah. Conjure the wind. And what if you just chose to feel powerful, like you were the one conjuring the wind? You were the one doing it. You're bringing it. You're bringing the movement. You're bringing the air. The winds of change are blowing. Breathing down into your body. Male or female, or non-binary, it doesn't matter. Straight, gay. Hello, Buggy. So, animals and plant life and birds, butterflies, they all respond to life. They are dancing with life, and when you're present and in your body, you are actually the most alive. And it's the essence of trust. When you're fully devoted to just being down in your body, and thoughts might come, and you just let them go, and you go, oh yeah, I'm trying to meditate because this is the most important moment of my day, is just to do this. It's like a little reset, and it's feminine energy. Male and females should be practicing being with their feminine energy. And if you're really anxious and you find that you can't breathe, your lungs are triggered, the sun with Mercury moving through Gemini, Mercury is retrograde. Mercury belongs to Gemini, rules Gemini, so he is in his own sign, but Gemini rules exactly where the body splits off. So the shoulders, the arms, and then the hands, and especially the fingers. And that is what, anywhere where the neck decides to split off into two working parts, the twins, Castor and Pollux. Now, and especially you can really understand the sign of Gemini by thinking about the shoulders, the arms, the hands, and especially the fingers. Gemini isn't just about two twins. It's about a splintering off. It's about a splitting. And when we get really stressed, or our feelings hurt, or we think something's not going quite the right way that we want it to go, or whatever, we can split. People with severe mental illnesses typically will split, and that's why not split as in leave, they do that too. But it's sad. They have less control over their splitting, meaning you could be their favorite person today, and if they assume or they perceive that you don't trust them or that you've done something wrong, you're lying, you're afraid of them, the fall from grace for them, and you falling from grace in their eyes, you fall quite hard, because their psychology, their thinking splits, and that's why you can sometimes think that they have multiple personalities. We shouldn't even give it too much thought, because it's really sad that anybody who has personality disorders or psychological issues of any kind, it doesn't have to be permanent. It's not fixed. Some people, yeah, it's going to be fixed, but they can manage them when they become conscious and work really hard and be with partners who still cherish them and understand and want to be of service to the healing and the behavioral changes and the person's self-esteem. And we can do that. Let me bring it back around. Gemini, with this solar eclipse in Gemini unfolding for the next 6 months, unfolding and enveloping the change. We Cold Stone Creamery, we start folding the ingredients down into the ice cream. So we subtly change what the ice cream actually started out as, right? We can either put it in a blender and chop it up and be a smoothie. We can let all that change chop us and drain us and turn us into something even more fluid, which might be the right choice. Or, sorry if the wind is blowing in the microphone, you guys. Or like I said, you can be that one stable clump of ice cream, one flavor of ice cream, and with each new week, with each new month for the next 6 months, especially as the energies intensify, we can start layering in those ingredients of change, those ingredients, and as they come, we just fold it in. Because if you didn't really want M&Ms in with your gummy bears, in with your ice cream in Cold Stone, or your Oreo pieces, or Reese's peanut butter chunks, or whatever, all that stuff is so good. I love chocolate ice cream with gummy bears. Weird, huh? If we didn't really want the cookie pieces, for instance, and some accidentally got in there, even though we didn't intend on it initially, if you just fold it in and kind of keep folding it in and adding what you did want, you're going to get a few of those cookie chunks, and you might end up liking them in the long run, but they aren't part of the whole Cold Stone dessert. Like, it's still your dessert. You don't have to throw the whole ice cream away. And so if you want to envelop the changes that are coming, because really, I think what people want so badly right now is a sense of security, financial security, monetary security, food security. That's what I think about every day. It's like, how can we create more food security in the world? We want psychological security, because the world is scary. We want to be loved, even though some of us are really splitting right now, because the world is scary. And some people, we don't know who the heck we are in these times in a lot of ways. And everybody's really brave just for going on another day, every single day. You're still ice cream. You're still a Cold Stone dessert. You're the base, right? You can pick out the cookie pieces that you didn't want. That makes sense. So, so with this solar eclipse in Gemini, for Sagittarius risings, myself, there's a lot of Sag risings, but for a lot of celebrities are Sag risings, for instance. This eclipse is happening in our 7th house, across from Sagittarius, and that is our 7th house of relationships, marriage, partners, contracts. A lot's happening in that region. We have Venus moving into the sign of Cancer, where she's exalted. But yes, for Sag risings, and in the United States of America's chart, Sagittarius rising, the United States, if you use something called the Sibley chart, is July 4th, 1776. is the birthday of the U.S. If you use that, then it's a Sag rising. So our country is a Sag rising. And so this eclipse is happening in our 7th house of partnerships, contracts, and negotiations, commitments, and legal disputes, the law. 8th house is where Venus is moving out of the 7th house and into the 8th house. This week, I think. She might have actually moved already a few days ago it's June 9th. Yesterday was my birthday. So my solar return chart has Venus in Cancer. So she's already in there, in the early degrees, making a trine with Jupiter in Pisces. This is a very blessed aspect. It's helpful in the water signs. 8th house deals with other people's money, other people's resources, and debts, crisis, sudden crises, health issues, the occult, things not seen, but also intimacy and sex and childbearing, a birthing process. So in the America's chart, I mean, and that makes a trine down to Pisces, the other water sign, down at the bottom of the chart, which is in the 4th house. Jupiter's in the early signs of the 4th house. Jupiter is a blessed planet, making contact, a trine, a flowing aspect of the nature of Jupiter with Venus in the 8th house. So fourth house of home, family, roots, our karma, our living situation, our parents and nurturers. It's making that helpful aspect with Venus in the 8th house of other people's money. So I could see more housing assistance coming. But for a while it might be crisis, but maybe the crisis isn't going to be as bad as we thought it was going to be in any given area. So in your own personal birth chart, you would have to look up your chart online or get a reading with me or another astrologer. These houses I'm referring to, they're going to change in your chart, but I'm just talking about America right now, Sag rising or Sag risings. Yeah, so Mars is also in the sign of Cancer, debilitated, which could be talking about, it's at the very last degrees. They're malefic degrees, bad degrees. They do cause crises and stuff, but that's very late degrees, and then he's about to gain a lot of power by moving into Leo in the 9th house. So I see a lot of people traveling and signing up for higher education courses. Yeah, with that opposition in Aquarius in the 3rd house, technologies, short distance travels, and all those restrictions being lifted off in so many places, I do see people going back to school, getting ready to go back to school after summer. And ferociously knowing what they want to study now. There might be a new energy, but it might take a while to get going, to, a few weeks to get going and get your energy back up, because the last couple months with Mars debilitated in the sign of Cancer, the energy, there was a lot of lethargy for a lot of people. They were feeling tired and not so eruptive. The irritability might have been more passive aggressive. Okay, so Venus in Cancer is just this real need for security, intimacy, to just finally know what the heck they're going to do with their housing, with their family. Are they moving back home? A lot of people might move back home with family, with big families. A lot of people might decide to get pregnant because the government's kind of rewarding that right now, which is good. With the child tax credits and everything, it's beneficial to have children. For some of these people are realizing, well, I actually want children. If I would have died from COVID this last year, then maybe that would be the end of my heritage, my lineage. I want to teach my traditions and give my karmic roots to my offspring, and I'm not afraid of that commitment of having babies anymore. I think that happened for a lot of people too. That's in the consciousness right now, not the opposite of like, we can't have babies, we can't. We've seen a lot of death around the globe. This is a global thing. We've seen so much death. I think we're going to get a big boom of life in a while, even though there's a depression happening, there is global hunger. But you know what? During times of depression and economic instability and insecurity, more importantly, where it's a collective consciousness thing, this is actually a reset moment. It's a time where we learn to trust again. We have to go through these periods every 100 years or so because we stop relying on each other so much. Our human consciousness collectively stops coming together, stops gelling. We forget what it means to be patriotic of our national heritage or our history of where we came from. So yes, let me go ahead and read Venus in, I'm going to feel the wind for just a minute. Let's just stop and feel the wind. Eat a couple cherries. These are so good. These are so good. Thank you, Mom. My mom bought me a bunch of groceries this month. Gotta take a cherry break. Cherry and water break. Cherry and coffee break sometimes. Grapes and water. An orange. Some strawberries. A tomato. Cherry tomatoes. Oh boy, I love those Trader Joe's. They're like a combination of the cherry tomatoes. There's like green little ones, orange, red, yellow. I could eat those all by themselves. These are Rainiers from Mount Rainier. See, they look a little different. They taste different too. I've always loved these. They're a bit small this year. The real kind of Rainiers that are like from the farms, like that you could get at the farmers markets, are usually like 2 cherries stuck together. Big old Rainiers. Big yellow and pink colors. They're just a delicious stone fruit. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just read Venus in... Let's read our quick meditation for today, so I can wrap up here and let you go back to your life. This is called Meditations for Women Who Do Too Much by Ann Wilson Schaaf. And it just gives you like a daily insert. I don't read it daily, but I do love opening it random pages, or it's usually always sort of comes with whatever the theme is for the day. It can give you like, you're like, oh yeah, that's what my day is about. Well, let's see what she says. Okay, June 9th, 2021. Competition / comparison. It's them that takes advantage, that gets advantage. It's them that takes advantage, that gets advantage in this world. George Eliot, I don't get that one. Unfortunately, we have been taught that to get ahead, one has to compare, compete, and take advantage of others. And we see evidence of these behaviors all around us. Yet as we begin to recover from our addictions, the addictions of doing too much, of overworking, we begin to see that comparison and competition are both forms of external referenting. When we compare, we become jealous, feel bad about ourselves, find ourselves becoming resentful, and end up not liking ourselves much. When we compete, we treat others as objects. When we compete, we treat others as objects, become ruthless, and justify our destructive behavior. When we take advantage of others, we lose the opportunity of relationships. We become people we do not really like, and ultimately we lose. Any of these behaviors threatens our serenity and our recovery. And the meditation says, we continue to learn what it means to be willing to put our sobriety first. It's not always easy, and it's a matter of life. So just sit with that one today. And then I'll read from here, Grant Louis from like the 1930s maybe, Astrology for the Millions. This book has taught me so much of the basics. So yeah, let me look up Venus in Cancer for you. I like his explanations. Venus is exalted in the sign of Cancer. I think it's going to feel pretty good for Mars to be out of Cancer and in Leo, but it is going to make that opposition with Saturn. I think maybe some volcanoes might happen, mining collapse, like either Bitcoin mine collapse or, the Bitcoin miners, their funds might collapse potentially, or that could just be a big fear right now, which it is in the media. Or a real mining, like the caves where miners mine stuff out of the earth for us. Yeah, I think there might be a collapse or some volcanoes going off, or maybe a sinkhole in the earth. I think they're called sinkholes, where the earth literally breaks and a big hole. I have nightmares about that happening to me. Actually, I have nightmares about that happening to my daughter. Like she ends up in a sinkhole and I can't get her. It's a big fear of mine. I try to not think about it because, I don't know, I don't want that to ever happen. So, yeah, every time I visualize things, I'm a very powerful manifester. So, I have to be careful, train my thoughts with discernment and discipline. Venus in Cancer. And this is for like the individual natal chart, but I'm sure we can get some answers for the collective, or everybody has Venus going in Cancer in their chart right now. And so you might have Venus hitting on some natal points, or if you know what house Venus is in for you, then you might see themes of this around that area of life. It also might get Venus going in that house might also improve the security of wherever you're feeling insecure. So let's see, Venus in Cancer. Your emotional responses are related to a simple and direct standard, your need for security and a home. Wow, since this is a basic life urge, your love is loyal and devoted and deep with the depth of self-preservation, which does not, however, make you selfish. Your whole nature hides in a protective shell till you have taken the emotional step that means your security. Then it unfolds graciously, like a flower in the warm sun, and beautifies your whole world. The fear of being hurt by love, of being thus innerly insecure, is very strong. You may seem sensitive and touchy, not to the superficial niceties, but to the bigger things that could shake your world. Yeah, bigger things happening right now. You can harness your emotions to making your own security, and so can be successful in business, to which you bring the primitive maternal or paternal forces. This, however, is the only way in which you are materialistic. You like sentimental gestures, only if you think they spring from sincerity. The forced kiss, the dutiful embrace mean nothing to you. Your emotional polarity is not primarily physical, and though you can respond to ardor, you can really take it or leave it alone. So yeah, I think everybody should do some clutter clearing if you haven't. I need to do some more of that. And get sentimental with your objects and make space for what's coming. And you don't know, that's a great exercise, especially for this eclipse, is actually to make symbolic space for the changes that are coming, which you can literally do that in a spiritual manifesting materialistic way by literally making space in your house. You want love? Make space in your closet for a man's belongings. You want a woman, a wife? Do you have space in where you're living right now, in your car, for her to sit in your car? Do you have space? If you really want a baby and you don't have a woman yet to have a baby with, like, could that even happen without a world of stress? Right now, I'm actually planning my future wedding that I don't have a wedding coming up. Nobody's ever proposed, but I'm just on Pinterest. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's just like I started doing that. I started making that Pinterest vision board because it makes me feel excited. So one day when that does start happening for me, should God allow that for me, there's actually excitement and space. I'm welcoming of it. It's not going to be this stressful thing for me, but I do know that I would really like to have a wedding and a big party and a dress and friends. And so you kind of think like, who would be at my wedding? Like, what would I want that to look like? Because the man who proposes to me in the future, he's not going to have huge decisions to make about the wedding. I think doesn't really work like that, where he cares about the glasses and the cups and the silverware and the things like that. He just wants his bride to feel good. And so can you imagine, people are like bridezilla, or just like, man, a wedding bridezilla seems so excessive and overly luxurious now, doesn't it? Like, after what we've all experienced globally, a wedding is just so unnecessary. A wedding like TLC's Bridezillas, that attitude about it. No. I mean, I want the spirit of a wedding to happen when a commitment is made. Even if we just symbolically jump over a broom and do like agree to 1 year together or something like that. And you celebrate that, even if it's just the two of you. And you have something sentimental to provide for that commitment, like a certain alcohol beverage waiting, or a certain dessert ready to go in the freezer. You have like beautiful glasses that you've made just for this, because you've desired it for so long, and here it is, and it's this man or this woman who's doing this for you. It seems extra special. So yeah, do that. I would do that. That's what I'm going to do. Is my back bedroom, the empty one, it's not empty, it's full of stuff, and I'm going to clean it because there's no space for the new to come in. And so I'm going to do that. I have to make more money. I have to probably find somewhere else to live. I can't afford this place, to be honest, you guys. I mean, maybe I can. I don't want to move. I'm really safe. I feel safe here and happy. But the world is turning. The wheel of karma is spinning, and I know there's more for me out in the world that is matching and ready to fulfill my desires. And I think I'm really starting to feel an intensification of that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get down in my body. You guys can join me, and we'll finish this out. Get out of our heads for a minute. It's safe to trust and let go. To let go of the words I was just saying. Don't even think about them for this moment. Let them go. Let's do it together. It's safe to let go and to surrender. Down, 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 down. Men, take your hand, or masculine energy, go ahead and take your hand and put it on one of your pecs, your muscles on your heart, and just feel your heart beating. And feel it, really feel it on your hand and feel it from inside you, and connect mentally to, oh yeah, that is my heart beating, and just do that for a minute. Women, or feminine energy, take your other hand, put your hand on your heart and do that, and take your other hand and put it on your lower belly, just lightly, nice and lightly like this. And you should feel and release your belly. Don't tuck it in. Don't tighten your abs. Let it go. Release, and release, below the belt, release the clenching. And men too, just release the clenching that you do. We hold on so tight in our bodies, we don't realize we're clenching, we're bracing for the next stressful thing. So just, women, when you let go of the tummy tightening, your bottom area, your vagina and everything. It's going to relax. And you should actually feel a whole lot of pleasure right there. It should actually, it feels almost, when you take your warm hand and put it on your womb, and you do that, and you kind of just like move a little bit, just like wiggle it out and let go. Don't tighten your belly. It's okay if you have belly fat or saggy, wrinkly tummy. I do. You guys, I do. You just can't tell. You know? It is what it is. It's your vessel. So feel your womb and your heart for women. And tuck, men and women, tuck your chin down to honor the God within you and the Creator. The Creator, not just creation and all the manifestations. The Creator, which there is one. It's a mysterious force. And you just honor God. I call God. Honor Source, Spirit, whatever you want to call it, Christ. Honor the God force that gives you life, that gives you your vessel today, another day, and think that's so cool. We woke up, we have one new day. So let's honor the physical vessel, the heartbeat, and the source of life in our womb is our power. It's actually our strongest area. It's our pleasure center. If you have trouble being present during sex, or you have trouble reaching climax, you can literally take your hand during intercourse and put it on your womb and just feel the warmth of it, and it's activating. It's really activating. So go ahead and breathe down and feel it. And now I'm going to go ahead and do that so we can close this out, and I'll set you free. In through the nose. Men, take a deep breath in through the nose and push down into your belly, deep into your belly button, and go, ugh, as low as you can make your voice go. Do that, go. Do that. And press. So you're actually like pulling yourself down into your body, and you're not in your head thinking. Even if it's for a minute, it takes practice to do this. Women, feminines, breathe, release. Okay, you guys, take that message and have a great week. Happy Eclipse. Make it count. Love you. Bye.